Hi everybody. This is my Sunday. Just took my dogs out in the rain to do their business look, and I apologize for that. And I guess I should also tell you that this is my Airbnb room where my bed and my sofa are the exact same thing. So I am not in Arizona, and so a lot of my recordings are going to come to you from wherever I am. I spend the first month of the summer with my parents, who are age 93 and 84, in Kansas City, and that's where I am right now. So this is my filming studio, if you will. Okay, so let me just tell you why I have brought you here to this video today. This video is to help you overcome the barriers that sometimes come up when I ask students to go out into the community, and also to tell you why it's important that we do go out into the community for at least part of our learning together. So first of all, let me start with that. Our program is an applied program, which means that we think that what we teach you in these classes is actually going to benefit you in your career, and you should be able to take what you learn and apply it pretty immediately out there. Some of you are already out there, and I hope that it will immediately be obvious how what you learn is beneficial. Some of you are not already out there. But either way, we send you out to talk to people who are in certain positions of having to use this information already. And we hope that by interacting with them and learning their perspective, that it will deepen or give you another dimension, if you will, of the subject matter, and make it more realistic and not just book learning and not even just discussion, but bring it up in the context in which it's important already. So to that end, this class, I'm sending you out to talk to people who are concerned about policy, and the reason that I'm doing that is because our subject matter is to explore whether or not the university is actually practicing what it preaches, or perhaps we could put it in a more positive light and say we're out to learn how the university could best serve the community. And so that's what I'm asking you to do, and that involves going out to talk to people who are actually participating in policy making activities on behalf of their agency or organization, to see how the university is or could be more supportive. Okay, so what I've asked you to do is to identify someone who works in an agency or at an organization that you have a passion personally around their mission. That will make it more interesting for you. You can identify the right person inside that agency or organization by going to their website and finding the link that says About Us, or Staff, or Employees, or some reasonable synonym, and looking for the executive, because usually the head of the agency or organization is always involved in policy, but also look to see if there's a public affairs person or a lobbyist or an outreach person, because those people are also usually involved in policy. And then you need to identify their email address. Sometimes it's given to you, and sometimes you're going to have to pick up the phone and call and ask whoever answers the phone for those email addresses. They may want to know why you want to connect with them, and you can just explain that you're a student and a little bit about the project, and usually that's enough. They may also, by the way, give you the opportunity to be directly transferred to this person or put into their voicemail, and I suggest you take advantage of that. So be sure you are familiar enough with the project and why we are doing it, that if that opportunity comes up, you can actually move forward with it. Sorry, it's driving me a little crazy that this is crooked, and that's because it's sitting up on a pillow to make it tall enough, but I'm moving the camera around. Okay, so now you've ostensibly got the email addresses. Come back, write your email, explain who you are, what you've been asked to do, attach any documents that I have maybe given you to help explain to the person what this particular assignment is about. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then go ahead and send it off. But that is not the end of this. Please remember a few things. One, all agency and organization heads are extraordinarily busy. They have too many things to do in the day. But two, I have found, and I've been teaching since 2006, that these same people who are very busy are also really eager to help train the next generation of professionals and are usually very cooperative and willing to let you come in, meet with them, maybe give you a tour, introduce them to the right people that you need to talk to. You'll be, I think, pleasantly surprised by how many people are willing to help. So knowing both of those things, very busy but willing to help, what usually happens is they see your email when they open their emails in the morning or whatever, and they think to themselves, okay, I could do that, or okay, I'm going to answer this email, but I'll do it after I've got this critical list of things that is hopping right now, and I'll come back and do this later. I need to go do those things first. So they hop off and go do those things. Now, just like all of us, by the time they're done with those things, they've totally forgotten your email. I mean, I'm sorry, but they just have, because you are not on their priority list. And they mean well, but they just have forgotten. And when they go back to open their email, their box is full of new stuff, and you know how the new stuff is at the top, and the old stuff goes down somewhere where you can't even see it anymore unless you look at old stuff, and most of us don't. And so it's like they saw it, they had a good thought, and they forgot about it. So your job is to nag them, to do it in a very professional way, but nevertheless to nag them. I would, if I haven't heard back from somebody in 24 hours, I would resend my email and pick up the phone and call them and basically say, I'm sure you got my email. I know you're very busy, but this is a summer course. It's hopping very fast, and I would really like to make an appointment with you. I know that many young people, I don't want to say just students, because I think that this is people who extend actually into their 30s. It's a generational thing. Really don't like picking up the phone. But in this case, please remember a couple things. The people you are connecting with are, not always, but in large part, if they're at the top of their organization or agency, they are not of your generation, and they are used to picking up the phone. So if you want their help, you're going to have to do it their way. The other thing to remember is the ball is always in your court, even if you've already lobbed the ball across the net. The ball is in your court because you are the one who needs to do this. You are the one with a deadline. You are the one whose grade depends on it. And none of that applies to them, no matter how willing they are to help you. So don't feel bad about going after them within, again and again, until you either ascertain that you're not going to get a response, which I'd give them 3 days and then I'd find somebody else, or they say no. And don't feel bad about a no either. Sometimes you get people right in the middle of a crazy time in the summer, which is where we are. Sometimes a lot of employees are gone for vacation, and other people are picking up each other's roles, and they're just too busy. So here's my advice. Send the email. The next day, send another email and pick up the phone. The third day, send another email and pick up the phone again. By the fourth morning, if you haven't heard, go on to another organization. Also, to up your chances, if there is both an executive and a public affairs or community outreach person, send them both the same email. Put both of their names on the same one. Don't send two separate. And the reason for that is if they see that they've both been tagged, they can decide between themselves who's going to handle it. And again, day 4, if you haven't heard anything, move on. If day 6, the first people finally get back to you and you've already connected with someone else, just tell them thank you, but it turns out that I've got someone already on who's already said yes to me. I didn't want to bug you, so I went on to the next person. Just stay polite and professional, but nag them, and don't feel bad about that. The ball is in your court, and you need to get this done, and so let it be your responsibility. Thanks.